Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am Jean from Enda's BOOKtique, or the founders of Enda's BOOKtique. And today is a fun and fantastic day. You know, I love to come live and talk to amazing people, especially amazing women who are doing some amazing things in our community. Today is a fantastic day also because it is National Entrepreneurs Day. And so I want to give a shout out to all of you female entrepreneurs, or I like to call entrepreneur hers, which means you took the incredible step of getting out there, putting your product out there, whether it is for skincare, candles, whether you have your own accounting business, I have a bookstore, all those types of wonderful fun things. And we know to start your own business, to become an entrepreneur is not just a haphazard process. It's not just in a short-term desire. It is something that's long-term. It takes a lot of, I would say, responsibilities that come with that, a lot of actions and steps towards truly becoming an entrepreneur. So it's a process. That's what I'm trying to say. Entrepreneur is a process. And when I teach entrepreneurship classes, I always tell people that entrepreneurship is not a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. It's a lifestyle. So for those of you who ask the questions, the question, what does it take to be an entrepreneur? The first thing it takes is to convert your lifestyle from a part-time, full-time job to becoming a person who's an entrepreneur as a lifestyle. And in that whole scenario, that's a dynamic within itself, and it's an ongoing process. So it's not something that you accomplish instantly. It's not something that you accomplish within a couple of months. This is an ongoing process. And even when you get to a place where you feel like you're successful, life happens, COVID-19 happens, and now you have to reimagine what that looks like to be an entrepreneur post-COVID. I'm going to say during COVID, because we're not post-COVID, but we're post the kickoff of COVID, unfortunately, and getting slam dunk. So with that, I have an amazing person who is with me today to discuss what it is to be a entrepreneur. Her name is Chi Smith. And I do want to make sure I forward this to all of I'm on Facebook Live, so I am part of so many different Facebook groups. And so I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to watch this and express themselves and to celebrate what it is to be an entrepreneur. So it is so good to have you. I know I was supposed to get you last week, and so much was going on with my schedule as well. And so I know you had a lot going on with your schedule. So definitely, I'm glad that we were able to make this thing happen. So before we get started with some of my questions, I would like for you to share with everyone who you are, where you're from, because you have a wonderful, interesting background. You are now a Texas girl, kind of, sort of, I think. How long have you been in Texas?
6 years.
Okay, so I don't know how long it takes to be a Texas girl. I'm not from here either, but I went to high school, so I know to some degree I am a Texas girl, an Oak Cliff girl. I just heard Chris, one of those rappers from back in the day, that talked about Oak Cliff being, one of those popping locations that you just go to Oak Cliff. That's like shopping in Beirut. So I didn't know that until I saw his video. I was like, whoa, we are on the map. So everything about Oak Cliff is not Beirut style. There's some goodness in Oak Cliff. So, but let's talk a little bit about your history, where you're from, and what made you decide to come to Texas.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Miss Jean. Like, I really appreciate you. Listen, guys, before I talk more about myself, Enda's Boutique, listen, in Duncanville, Texas, go see her, go into the store, shop, get all your literature, get some gifts and all that wonderful stuff, okay? Let me say that. She has absolutely been a blessing to me. So Chi Smith, who is Chi Smith? I am a native of Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas, to be exact. And so throughout my life term, I developed a sales career in information technology. And so information technology has taken me across this wonderful country and even outside of this country. And so from Arkansas, we went to Seattle, spent some time there. And then after Seattle, we ended up in Texas. So I've been in Texas for about 6 years. And to your point, so I've heard generally after the first year, you're already a Texan because you're going to be inundated with food, culture, everything, sports, all of it. So I guess you can say I'm already a Texan. My family will probably beat me up for that. Right. But yeah, so yeah, that is my background. IT brought me to Texas, and I'm still a technology girl, and I have technology in my blood. I have entrepreneurship in my blood, and I have people in my blood, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
and
I like that.
I'm for the people, and I can say with everywhere that I have migrated to, where I have been kind of a drop bait into different parts of the world, I've been utilized for the people, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I love that. You know, especially for many of us who, as women entrepreneurs, we always think about our community. We think about the people that we impact. How can we make their life and their situation better? So I love that you brought that up, and that's part of who you are and your personality and your character. It's just so very warm and inviting, and definitely I could see that being part of who you are. And as you related that, let's talk about entrepreneurship, and why did you decide to step into that realm of entrepreneurship? Of course, you started off in sales, but what was the story behind that journey?
Yeah, so it's a funny thing. Sales was almost an aftermath, right? So healthcare has been in my family for a number of years. Okay. Oh my gosh, for decades and decades, as far as I can think back, even before I was born. So healthcare has been a big part of my family, near and dear to my heart. And so I grew up knowing that. And so science, biology, chemistry has always been also a first love of mine. And so I would walk around, right, when I was a young girl with books and a bag. And, I just knew I was going to be some type of a scientist or a doctor or someone that was going to delve deep into the compounds of things and how it works, and why it is what it is, and why it has its name and its origin, and all that wonderful stuff. So I went to school as a bio major. I went to college after graduating high school. I went to college as a bio major, even transferred it over to a chem major. And then I said, oh, wow, this is a lot. It's a lot of math and science. And so I said, okay, but it's more to this. And I knew that it was more to me. And so then I delved a little deeper. I went into communications. And so I said, it's something about researching it and then sharing it with the people. And so then before you knew it, I ended up graduating with a bachelor's in medical sociology. Wow. So it's sociology, but it's the concentration of medicine.
Never heard of that before. I didn't even know that was a degree.
It's a real
so
thing.
Medical sociology. Okay.
So I got my first degree in medical sociology.
What school did you attend? I'm sorry. What school did you attend? I apologize.
I'm sorry, the University of Central Arkansas out of Conway, Arkansas.
Okay.
And so that's where I received my first degree, because that gave the epitome of what I was really trying to do, meaning it is how medicine affects people, right? So you got to understand people from different demographic areas. You've got to understand how does medicine affect people in all different continents and different climates, so on and so forth, because everything doesn't work for everybody, right? You can't do a one-stop shop. And so for me, it was more on a research level. Again, going back to the communications, being able to share with the people. So ultimately, I understood that degree was going to allow me to do further research and then also be able to communicate to the people what these various medicines or herbs, or what these medicines herbs can do for you in this climate, what you shouldn't do, what's recommended in this climate, so on and so forth, in this demographic area, so on and so forth. So, and then I went further. I had this grand idea of knowing I'm going to, because they ask you this question: if you never got paid for it, whatever the it is,
right? You
never got paid for it, what would you do? And for, I can say about 20 years, my statement has been the same: to own a research company. To own a research company and help people.
I
So
like that. Wow.
it will rehabilitate people. It would help people understand where they are and where they need to go. That was what that medical sociology degree was going to assist with. And then I went further and said, okay, well, someone's not going to believe me with this, no matter how much research I do. So then I went further and got a master's in business. I said, because I've got to make this real. And I do
Right.
plan to have my own business. So fortunately or unfortunately, we like to see paperwork. And so we like to see credentials to verify. And
You're
so
right. That's why I have to be degreed up. I was like, you
well, you
have to
guys
be.
I got them, but they're not on the walls, but I got them.
Right. They're in my other office.
In the
Right.
other
You have to be
office.
degreed up. You're right. And
So
let me say this before you go further. And it's interesting. I had a conversation with someone, and I said often, I really rarely do I even, bring the letters behind my name. Usually you just see E. Jean. I don't put the letters behind it. But every once in a while, someone will require you to bring that down, bring that, add that tag behind your name just to remind them that yes, I am experienced, but I am, as what it says, born and educated. Okay, so
yes,
don't get confused
I love it.
with just me using E. Jean. I use that just because that's what I like to be called. But trust me, if it's necessary, I have enough letters behind my name to let you know that I'm not just experienced, but I'm educated. So you're right. Sometimes you have to pull the paper to let people know, yes, I'm committed as an entrepreneur, but I'm educated as an
Yeah,
entrepreneur. Yes.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So yeah, and then of course after the MBA came several certs after that, right?
Yes.
So and then look at, because education it doesn't get old,
No.
right?
Right.
And the what is it, when I was growing up, it was a little commercial, and they may even still play it now. The more you know, the more you grow.
Yes. I like that. I don't know what commercial that is, but
It
it
was
is
from the
true.
80s. Look, I'm dating myself. Look.
Hey, I'm with you. I went to high school and graduated in the 80s. So I earned my years.
That's
So I'm
it.
good with that. I earned it, all of it. I'd rather be where I am today than,
That's right.
yeah, I'm good
That's
with
right.
where I am.
But
Yes.
yeah, so education doesn't stop. And so with that, for me and my entrepreneurship journey, and I know we'll get more into that, but I find myself being a value and an asset to people because of my continuous education.
Right.
They
Yeah.
can count on me knowing that I'm going to do my research. They're going to count on me knowing that I have exalted all odds to come up with the proof and the assurance that this is going to work, or this is proven to be true.
Yeah.
And I take pride in that.
I like that. I like that. So you have your own business now, and you've been in business as an entrepreneur for how long?
3 years. Well, let me take it back. I'm jumping. I'm already jumping to 2021. So in 21, it'll be 3 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. February of 21, it'll be 3 years. But I'm telling you, I feel like I've been an entrepreneur way before then, but I actually started putting it into play February, probably actually before then, but to making it official, uh,
Right.
February 2018 was our start date. February 1.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so, of course, your product. Let's talk a little bit about your product, your business. What was the process of starting it? You launched it in 2018. You have your education. You had your desire. You had the energy. So, but let's talk about some of that process before we even get into the product with filing, getting your business legally in place, right? Financially in place, making sure all of those pieces that are very important to the puzzle of being an entrepreneur. What was the process for you when it came to that? Was it smooth? Was it a learning process? Did you have any mentors? Talk a little bit about and discuss what does that look like?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I can honestly say when it started as a personal um, journey.
Okay.
And so I have an extensive medical history. And after a certain time, even as an adult, I realized some of these things that are recommended are not working.
Okay.
And I said, but I do know what does work and what has worked when I revert back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of almost like the renewing of the mind,
Right.
reconditioning, going back into my research, remembering also from a historical perspective via family
Right.
what worked and what didn't work. And so then once I started delving into that and knowing what I know, and I started putting things together for my own personal use to basically, Miss Jean, heal myself.
Right.
I started a self-healing journey. I didn't tell anyone I was starting it. I started creating various solutions for myself. I don't like to call them products, I like to call them solutions. Um,
Right.
Even from an IT perspective, we don't say we're selling you a product. We like to sell you a solution because it's solving a challenge, it's solving a problem, it is handling the issue. And so we like to call it a solution. And so I started creating these various solutions for myself. And I said, there's a number of people who too are experiencing what I'm experiencing. I wonder if this could be universal.
Right.
So then I started pulling in family and friends and saying, hey, try this, try that, try this, try that. And then I started attending different fairs and so on and so forth. And to to my surprise, but not really, they were like, this works.
Right.
How did you know that this worked? And I even have a very close friend who says, "Oh, she's a chemist. She's a chemist." And I'm like, "Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that." But it's understanding. Again, I go very deep in the raw product of things, whether it's a flower, whether it's a plant, whether it's a rock, whether it's, whatever it is, wherever it comes from. I go to the highest extent of research, and understand what was the original purpose for it, and then what is the purpose for it today. And so there I started creating the line, and then I started really telling people about it. And again, I started inserting myself into different
Right.
um, entering different vendor fairs and so on and so forth. So to further answer your question, I didn't really have a mentor. It was kind of
Okay.
on my own. It was a self
Okay.
journey because honestly, at the time, I didn't know a lot of people who looked like me and you that was in this industry.
Right.
And right.
That's a good
And
point. Yeah.
and so what I have found is if you don't know who to go to, you find yourself just stumbling and falling and trial by error and so on and so forth. So, but I had to lean on my education, right? I had to lean on
Right.
research. I had to lean on what I
Right.
do know to be true. And thankfully, I think as time progressed, I started meeting different people. But then it was more on just a business perspective. I will say that I don't come from a trust fund.
Right.
I'm just going to be honest. I don't come from a whole bunch of money, but I come from hardworking people, entrepreneur. I do have entrepreneurs all throughout my family,
Mhm.
and I have go-getters and hustlers, if you will, right? And so you can
Right.
train a hustler to go into any industry and make it, okay?
Right. Yes.
You just got to have the will to do. And that's
Exactly.
what I had, Miss Jean. And I had the will to do for me, to do for others.
Right.
Because if I'm having this challenge, there's millions of other people who are also having this challenge. And let's do some education and let's help the people.
Right. So I like that one, just get the education. And I like that you talked about research and getting out there, just seeing how your solution is going to be received by other people. And of course, then you have to file your paperwork, right? You've got to get that taken care of because you started it here in Texas as a
I
Texan,
did. I
right?
did. I
So,
did. I started here in Texas, which is really weird. They're like, where have you been? And I'm like, you know what? It would be amazing to say I've been in business for 10 years.
right,
But once I got to Texas and I saw, it was kind of almost like the, kind of in the biblical days when you hear about different passages and how people go to a certain place and it's like the land of the plenty and it's like this is your starting ground and all of that. And so for me, I felt like that was what was speaking into my spirit was, I have placed you here into new ground. You don't have
Mm,
family here. You don't know anybody here, but this is the land of the plenty for you. And
wow.
you can plant the seeds as much as you want because this state is a big old state.
It's a
Okay.
large thing. So those of you who are in Texas, that are from Texas, you just heard it. This is a place and a land of plenty. So you can get it down here in Texas. It is true. You know, there are a lot of opportunities, and I'm glad that you talked about that. And so let's talk about the legal side of it, because as a chemist, you have to make sure you have all of your ducks in a row. You having people use your products. So you want to make sure that everything is in place.
Yes.
So what did you do from your legal perspective, getting it found,
Yes.
making sure you're insured and all those types of things?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely want to make sure that your business is insured. You want to ensure that you are going through every article within the government that is meant for you in your industry. So I had to do a lot of research even with that because again, I didn't have a mentor. So I had to understand where even does my business fall under. And quite frankly, I
Mm.
fall under manufacturing. I
Mm.
fall under a manufacturing business, not necessarily health and beauty, because I'm not just buying someone else's product and slapping a label on it. I'm buying raw
You're a chemist.
ingredients. I hope,
Right.
there's wholesale raw ingredients, and then I have to formulate it and then create it to be something. So that's what a manufacturer does. And so I had to understand that process. I also had to ensure that from a cleanliness and safety perspective, those policies and procedures were intact. You have to ensure that you're registered with the state. You have to register with the country. You have to understand the guidelines in which what you are actually trying to do. There's a laundry list of things that you have to do from a legal
Right.
perspective to ensure that what you are creating is of the safety of the people. Okay.
Right.
So we will be here all day, Miss Jane.
No,
But you
but
have,
it's good to hear, because oftentimes we don't talk to chemists, and
yeah.
you are a female chemist. So I love that. And it's good for people to hear and understand that the lane that you're in, which is more of manufacturing, uh, very different. Like you said, you're not getting someone else's product. You are actually creating product. You're a chemist. So
Mhm,
from your product, there is a responsibility
mhm,
of, but that's a little bit different than individuals who are actually just selling
mhm.
uh, product that that was created by someone else. So it's very good to hear. If you
Yeah.
all are just joining us, thank you so much for joining. I am E. Jean of Enda's Boutique, an entrepreneur, and I'm talking to Chi Smith of Earth G. And we both have those unique names for our business. And so today is National Entrepreneurs Day. And so I wanted to speak to, actually, it was just perfect timing. We were scheduled to speak last week, and I had to move it because of scheduling conflict, last minute conflict. And so it just fell on the perfect day where we're talking about what it means to be an entrepreneur, the process, and going through all of that. And so you have a solutions product. So let's talk a little bit about your product. You have your product in my store. So let's give some information about your product.
Yeah, so what we have in Miss Jean's store and in this BOOKtique today
Yes.
is in this BOOKtique is we have the room spray, and
Yes.
then we also have candles for you guys, okay? And then we also have some wonderful accessories. We have some wonderful cups, travel bottles. Yes, thank you,
Yes.
Machine.
Yes, yeah, travel
And
bottles.
some wonderful other little knickknacks for you. And some literature, of course, to share with you more about
Yes.
who Chi Smith is and what she's been doing and how long she's been in existence. But I'm gonna tell you, yes, that travel water bottle right there in her hand is a keeper. I'm telling you, I love it. If you guys are traveling, if you're bikers, if you love biking and
Right.
hiking and all that, that is a perfect
It
travel
is.
bottle for you. So, or even if just in the car, you need to put, water, juice, coffee, it's perfect.
Right.
And so what the reason why we chose those products for Miss Enda's boutique is I'm a reader. I love reading. I come from readers.
Right.
My gosh, my family reads, and there's nothing like setting the mood, right? And so with an Earth G, the meaning of an Earth G is in the earth is where we find true energy. Okay,
Mm.
so in the earth is where we find true energy. So if Chi Smith is gathering all of these raw products and raw ingredients to create the right energy, the right solution, it's going to change a mood, or it's going to
Right.
create a mood, right? And so the ultimate idea is, while you're sitting reading your book from Enda's Boutique that you've come to Duncanville, Texas to receive, you can do a little squirt spray in your room, walk out for 5 minutes, come back, you have the wonderful aroma, and you've set the tone and or the mood. And so we have a plethora of a lot of other different solutions for you, but that's what you will see in the store today. Again, in EarthG, it is in the earth that we find true energy. We create the solutions to help change the energy, the mood, where you are right now. Because when we think about raw ingredients and we think about essential oils and all these wonderful things, I mean, just even think about, not even just going that deep, right, Miss Jean? We can think about
Right.
when you go into Dillard's and you go and spray perfume in the perfume aisle, you're
Exactly.
like, it's floral or it's musk or it's earthy. Oh my God, like you're drawn to it. It instantly
Right.
changes how you feel, right?
Exactly, exactly. And we use her products in our stores. So the candles and the sprays. So it's just, setting the mood and the tone. And for women, we like things to smell a certain way, sound a certain way, see a certain way, right? Our senses. Those things are important because that is what inspires us. That's what gives us good energy. If it's not the right smell, the right scent, the right environments, that brings about the negative energy. So sometimes when you have to reset the clock or get yourself in the right mood, you definitely have to be around a certain type of aromas, scents, smells, sounds, those types of things. And so one of the things I like about your product is it creates that type of aroma and that environment in my store, because my store, is very, my friend says eclectic. I'm an eclectic person. So but I like things to be, warm and inviting, which is important. So you want to have candles that are inviting and warm. You want to have sprays that create that type of aroma, that create that type of environment. So I am excited about your product. When we got it in here, people were purchasing it and they were flying off the shelves. And of course, we have the Friday that's coming up after Thanksgiving. So we are encouraging you starting today all the way up until next week, because today is National Entrepreneurs Day, is to support an entrepreneur, right? This support
Right.
our women who are doing some great things in our community. And that's important. We can go to the big box office, big box stores and give them our money, or we can right here in our community support independent entrepreneurs who are out there that are really churning the economy and making the economy as stable as possible and as fun as possible too. It's fun to go and see someone who invested so much of their energy and time into a product that truly requires our undivided attention. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to have your product in my store. And I'm
Thank
glad, because I was like, I need one. See that backlash she has? I was like, I need something with her face. So I said, yes, I need this. So we have a couple of these in our store as well. And this is perfect because you can, like you said, if you want to travel, all those types of things, then you have a water bottle that you can
Yes.
take with you as well.
And
What
look,
other
Miss
products?
Jean, I know I
Yes.
want to share with you. We've branched out. We've got some teas going on here.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have that in my store. What's up
I
with
know we're
that?
coming. We're coming tomorrow. We're coming
I
tomorrow.
Yes, I better have that in my store, because we have our little section where we chill with the tea and the coffee and the
That's
wine.
it. I'm telling you.
So
Yes. So we're gonna be great.
wonderful.
We've got release it, we've got relax yourself, and we've got breathe again. We definitely need breathe again, because look, we're in this
Oh,
pandemic and we're going into flu
oh
season.
my God.
You know what's going on. We don't know if it's
Yes.
flu or COVID or whatever, but nevertheless, and Urchi has what you need. And so I'm telling you, I have been able to invest in Miss Enda, and listen, any type of new literature, any type of new piece, I'm going to the store. I'm saying, Miss Enda, do you have this? Okay. Or I'm just going on the website. She already got it. Boom. I'm getting it. And I said, like you said, I'm setting my own mood. I'm setting the right atmosphere,
Right.
setting the right energy. When I'm sitting down reading the book that I've gotten from you, and then I'm drinking an Urchi tea, or I've just had an Urchi bath, right? It's creating that moment. And that's what I want to do for the people. And that's what I've been doing for the people for the
Right.
past almost 3 years. And we're going to continue that journey, along with being a certified therapist, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't even know that that is another entity of an IRFG. We have
Yes.
a therapy department, right? So we're also helping
Wonderful.
people from a holistic perspective. It's the whole person that we deal with. We have, of course, the body butters, the lotions,
Yes.
additional skincare, whether the soaps and lotions and all that wonderful stuff. But we also believe in dealing with the whole self. So that means mentally, you know, saying spiritually, right? Emotionally. We have to also target those aspects of the entire person, other than the exterior. So we have to deal with the interior as well as the exterior as well. So it goes
Exactly.
hand in hand. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Exactly. And I appreciate that. And you're right. The what we've been going through since beginning of this year, setting the right tone, getting in the right mood has been so much more demanding now because I mean we've been dealing with COVID since March. We had the election going on, and I mean it was like two, and then of course social justice happening, just three um, different things just simultaneously, the perfect storm happening, and so much noise and so much energy wrapped around and engaged in that. Duly so. I mean, when I say noise, I'm not saying it wasn't important. I mean, we have to talk about COVID-19. We had to deal with the election, right? We had to make sure that we talk about social justice and those things. Very important, high profile situations going on, but sometimes it can be so overwhelming, and sometimes it can be so much that we have to deal with. And you've got to figure out, okay, how do I manage and navigate through all of this, right? How do I walk myself through this process? And so setting the right tone, getting connected to things that are spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, right? And so you have some of the perfect products to be able to help us to be able to take a moment or two or 10
Yeah.
minutes or 5 minutes or 30 minutes and just relax and allow ourselves to be able to reset the clock through your products, through your solutions. Let me say that, as you said, through your solutions. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. And you know, the great thing about that too is I consider myself, again, I'm continuously striving as an entrepreneur to get to that big picture. And the big picture is to have that facility that I told you about, Miss Jean, earlier,
Yes.
right? To have that
We
facility.
talked about that. I said we need to get us a building where we could just align it all up. God's gonna give
Yes,
it to us.
it's
It's gonna
gonna
look great.
happen. It's gonna
Yes.
happen. And it's gonna be people who will be able to rehabilitate, and then they will
Yeah.
also be self-serving, meaning they have received the proper resources and tools and skill set on how to navigate through daily life, and yet know how to execute what when, right?
Right.
And so with that, um, I look at it like a hospital, right?
Yeah.
So you come in, you know, you have a need, you have a challenge, you have an issue, you know, you get with the right resources, we help you navigate through it. And then also at the end of the day, you have the right tools, right? You've got the right tools, you've got the right tools, you've got the right tools, right? Right. And then it
Right.
becomes a lifestyle.
Yes.
And so, because think about it, when you go see your physician, generally you're either walking out with a hand script or it's already at the
Mm,
pharmacy. Well, what better way than to get it all in one place, in one facility, in one building? So you've gotten the love, you've gotten the therapy, you've gotten the right solutions that you need to use on
right.
an everyday basis, and then you have the therapeutic skill set too, that you know when to tap in, when not to tap in, where to go, where not to go, so on and so forth, right? So it's
Exactly.
all encompassing. And that's when I deal with the community, right? When I deal with Dallas Metro, DFW Metroplex, when I deal with the state of Georgia, because I've climbed, when I deal with the state of Illinois, when I deal with the state of Washington, when I deal with the state of Virginia, I mean, thank goodness there's clients all over that can attest that it's not just a body butter, right? It
Right.
brought life, you know, and we use the word, oh, this gives me life, right?
Right. Right.
But can it really? Did it really
Mm,
change your perspective at that moment? Did you really have that much of a hard day? And did you really come home and soak in the tub with some energy bubble bath? And did you get out that tub with the renewing of your mind?
Wow.
Did you call a loved one to say I love you before you closed your eyes?
Right.
That's
Right.
what that is what we're creating.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. If you're joining us, it's Chi Smith with In Earth G, and she has the solutions. I don't say products. She says solutions. I love that. And tell everybody where they can find you, locate you via website, social media.
Yes, so website is www.inearthg.com. So that's INEARTHGIE. And
Mm-hmm.
then we're also found on pretty much all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at InEarthG. And then we also have a YouTube channel, which is InEarthG Therapy, where you can just be riding in your car, listen to some wonderful audio of some daily stuff and how to navigate through it. So YouTube channel InEarthG Therapy, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at InEarthG, and then wonderful website www.inearthg.com. On the website, you will see that everything is therapeutic. So apparel, home care, skin care, hair care, all therapeutic.
I love it. I love you on social media, YouTube channel. That's one of the things I'm working to try to be more consistent with. But those things are important. And you have your YouTube channel where people can listen to the In Earth G music and just relax and those types of things.
Yes.
So wonderful. And of course, our products are here at our store. We are located in Duncanville, Texas, 428 North Main Street. Enda's BOOKtique is where we're the name of our bookstore, and I'm so excited about having cheese, solutions in our bookstore. Today is National Entrepreneurs Day, so I want to congratulate everybody and give a shout out to all entrepreneurs that are here making it happen despite the challenges that we've been facing since March. I know many of you had to readjust your life, readjust your vision, reimagine what life is going to be like, especially with social distancing, wearing the mask. But you know what? To whom much is given, much is required. And your gift will make room for you. So please don't give up and give in. It is tough. It is difficult. It is challenging. There are a lot of changes, but you just heard it from another sister to a sister of what she did and what she's doing to make it happen. Now she has teas. So you just have to continue to reinvent yourself, right? Reimagine yourself. You have to say, okay, we're in COVID-19. This is going to be here for a while. All right, we're going to be dealing with this. So what solution can I provide to the problem? And I love that. I tell people as an entrepreneur, you have to solve a problem. You can't just say, I want to do this. Is that solving a problem? So you talked about some great things. You gave some wonderful tips. And I'm sure those who are listening are truly blessed and can use these tips for themselves as being entrepreneurs. So thank you again for being amazing. Thank you to everyone who have joined us here on our bookstore interview. And today we're just going to celebrate entrepreneurs throughout the day. So just stay plugged in to Enda's Boutique, stay connected. And we're going to come in and just talk to so many different people today who are doing an amazing job in our community. But I'm talking to the first one right now. Her name is Chi Smith. She has her products in our store. She has her solutions in our store. And so if you want to get into a relaxed mood, if you want to get products that are natural for our skin tone, for our well-being, our health, if you don't want to be in a situation where you're using products that you know that's not good for us, contact InEarthG. Give them your website one more time.
Yes, www.inearthg.com. Please come see us. Use the contact us form. We are immediate. We're 24 hours a day. Doesn't matter when you contact us, all over the globe. We will answer your call.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Well, thank you all for joining us. You have an amazing Thursday. Please stay safe. Please stay smart and stay coronavirus free. God bless.
Yes. Thank you.